Good morning, my beautiful people. Welcome to my channel. Today, I want to be speaking briefly about breaking through, thinking from potentials to possibilities. Potential is something which can happen or not happen, but possibility is something which is really possible as opposed to impossible. Let's go just very quickly, 6 points for you here. Understand that mind is only a repository of the past, a junkyard of all the successes and failures, old thought processes, memories of having solved similar issues and how they were handled, successfully or otherwise, is quite another topic. Subconscious behavior patterns and thinking styles each one of us have. Look at that brain figure over there. If you haven't already, watch my series on personality assessment tests on YouTube. I take tests one-on-one on Zoom for executive leaders. So, expecting that you as an individual will come up with something brand new and shiny and beautiful and creative and expansive and everybody admires you for it and your ego is getting a big boost, just using your past scrapyard is not only counterproductive to your team, your people, your company, your time, your energy and your life, not to mention all the shareholder BS that you keep putting it around, but it's a naivete on your part. Drop that. Okay? First of all, to summarize, past is just a junkyard of all your old memories, subconscious patterns, thinking style, all of the rest of it. So we can't always work from there if you want to get creative, if you want to get forward thinking. Okay? Number two, in the present moment, you're stuck. Come to the green part over there on top of your head, things which are literally sitting on your head, if you want to call it that. In the present moment, you're stuck, wanting to get out into your comfort zone. What is your comfort zone? Your past habits, your ways of solving by procedure and policy, getting into routine and rut. Or worse, you could end up getting paralyzed thinking, going round and round, repetitive patterns of thoughts. Okay? Same thing, same thought chunks over and over again in your head. One definition of insanity is that, by the way. You could also get into what I call habitual sinking. Thought patterns like, this is always the case, or such and such will never change, or life is just this way, or this company or job or people or all of those are just this way and they all suck, implying that somehow I am better. Or worse, my life is just this way. Or even worse, my astrologist says this is a bad time and all kinds of Saturn or Rahu is screwing with my brains right now and I have a bad Mahadasha and I could just do with some beer and partying, dipping myself in pastries, getting Chinese takeouts and sitting with a brain fart in front of Netflix all day binge watching. Of course, I'm just kidding, but you get the drift there. Number three, how are possibilities invited? Now we come to the yellow oval circle over there. Oval circle, okay. I'm having a brain fart. Or more specifically, how do I make potentials into new possibilities and then on implement them creatively, or solutions that are not only new, inventive and creative, but which help solve issues and dilemmas that I face here, now, in the present, in my team, in my company, here and now, being present. So here's what I suggest based on both on my study as well as what worked for me in my career. Okay, it's really simple. Let's go through that quickly. Number four, use the frontal cortex. That's that highlighted portion which is like a funny looking triangle in the brain. It's a front part. It's literally inside your forehead. This development starts fully developing only in our young adulthood onwards. This is known by science. You can Google all stuff about this. The part used in forecasting, planning ahead, imaginative thinking, problem solving skills that we all possess innately. We all have it, by the way. Not just you as the leader. I call that forward thinking as opposed to going backwards. I mean, literally the brain is wired that all your stuff of the past is stored at the back side of your brain and all the front part of the brain is garnered and wired neurologically for the front viewing, for the things you need to plan ahead, literally like a look ahead. Okay? So, number five, use your intuition. One of the most disregarded factors in creative problem solving today is intuition. They just think it's woo-woo stuff made for the new agey people or not for the common man or not for the quote-unquote professional man. In my experience, this is hardly so. Intuition is a part of us that suggests something every day, such as, why don't you take this route to office today instead of the other one? You only find out later that there was a huge traffic jam in the other one. Of course, I'm disregarding the Google Maps and everything. These days, Uber and Google Maps say everything. Where is the traffic jam route? I'm not talking about those kind of things, folks. You just get an intuition. Let me talk to this person, or let me call up this person and check what he or she is up to, just as a social call. And they end up somehow giving you some ideas which you need for the problem right now. Where did such an idea come for you to call that person? That's intuition. Okay? We do use intuition every day. It's the higher mind part of us, that which taps into the larger view of things. Like it automatically takes the overview. That's what I'm calling the higher mind. Answers that are offered without a question is typically intuition. Typically. It just comes as statements. Statements such as, statement which has a certainty to it, such as, which is a great certainty to it. You just know it. Ever heard of yourself say that? I feel it in my gut. That's your intuition. Or you just know, I just know such and such a thing will happen. Or I just know this thing will work. That's intuition at its best. The gut feeling, the knowing. Ask the question in your mind, how should you get this? Can we get intuition voluntarily? I mean, can we create this consciously? Yes, yes, and yes. You just need to ask a question and be receptive to the answer. Don't try to answer it with your mind. Like I said, the blue one, what does it show? It's just mind is full of junkyard of your past memories and experiences. It cannot create something new. No one's mind can, not even mine. Ask the question and let it be answered by the intuition. Ask question number of times. This I have found to be true for myself. I'm just sharing what works for me. You decide what works for you. Various times of the day, don't try to answer it. Just ask the question and stop. Ask the question and stop. Maybe ask the same question over and over again and stop. Let the answers come. It will come. It will come in the next hour or day or 2 days or a week. Let the answers come to you. Trust me, they will. Okay? Number 6. Use imagination creatively. Now, even Einstein spoke about this. He used to create what is called as a thought experiment, where he used to put a man on a ray of light and see if he travels at the speed of light, what would happen. This is how Einstein worked out his theory of relativity. But you can use it in your daily life as well. You have to carry it out fully though. This is where people fall short, I have seen. You have to put as many details in your thought experiment, in your imaginative experiment for it to fully work. So let's say you're imagining a solution, let's say you're not making a lot of profits or your team isn't doing very well. You imagine a solution and imagine it to the greatest possible detail, every step, then it will work. This is my experience, folks, it will work. But unless you put each and every detail that you are going to do step by step in your imagination, in your thought or imagination experiment, so you need a lot of quiet space for this, by the way. You go every step of the way, you will clearly see the hurdles, the small, the insignificant steps you think are insignificant, but they are very significant. So if you miss that, it will get worse. You might not have a practical solution. It's like, oh, I overlooked this stuff. Sorry, now it's not going to work. Do not try to half-ass imagine your way into imaginative experiment. That's where people go wrong with imaginative experiments. They don't imagine the full detail. The full detail. The amount of detail you will be putting into your thought experiment will give you the possibility of that thought experiment actually working in real life. Okay? Try out this and you will come up with original thoughts, ideas and workarounds as a professional leader. You'll be much better off not judging the people working for you, because remember, when you begin to tap into your brain like this, in this way, the blue one, the green one and the yellow one, when you see of yourself as 3 compartments and you watch your own mind working in these 3 ways, then you are really empowered, my dear leader. One good side effect that you will know that each and every person in your team or organization is capable of this. Same human beings are the same everywhere. It doesn't make you any special, my dear leader. It just makes you just one of the pack. Okay, and that will be truly humbling for you. Okay, keep this in mind. And if you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, most welcome. Go through the personality test which I'm talking about. I put a whole lot of yada yada there for you to go through. Okay, take care, be safe and be awesome.